what's on your playlist right now?
In my class.
Go to guilty pleasure food.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Hi, my name is Sun, and I earned my bachelor degrees in electrical engineering from UC Davis back in 2024. I'm currently continuing my studies here as a master's student in the same field. My passion for innovative technologies led me to start Splash, which is a product that measures 7 different chemicals every single day in a swimming pool to make managing your swimming pool easier. I'm on the hardware team along with 2 other UCD graduates where we work directly with building our chemical measuring box.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a UC Davis computer science graduate from 2023, and I'm co-founder of Splash. I'm the lead of our software team consisting of 4 UC Davis alumni and current students where we develop the mobile app and machine learning models that help pool owners manage their pool. Our app provides them with clear, step-by-step instructions on how to rebalance their swimming pool with a click of a button.
Welcome to Face to Face, Rain and Sam. Glad you could be with us today. This Splash Tech sounds really exciting, and I wonder if you could just tell the audience what was the inspiration for starting the company, and how's the experience been so far?
Absolutely. Thank you for having us, Chancellor. So we started Splash as actually a spinoff of a UC Davis senior design project from the electrical engineering department. A couple of my co-founders back in the times, we were taking this class together to build this senior design project for their graduation degree. And then we encouraged we received a lot of encouragement in the beginning, and then we also was told that this could really turn into a real product on the market, as no such thing exists from the professor who were running the senior design project. And then basically from that point on, we decided to continue working on it after people graduates, and then slowly evolving, pivoting into the product you see today.
Sam?
Yeah, we were really looking for a gap in the market, and we ended up finding out, and not a lot of people know this, that there are swimming pool conventions that happen all across the country. We went down to one in Long Beach and just started talking to different pool management company owners and asking them questions about how do they balance their pool, what strategies do they use, what problems do they have, just trying to learn more about how does this actually get done. And we realized that there was a big gap in the market that we could address if we combined our skills together.
Yeah, absolutely. I learned something today. I didn't know there were pool conventions. Add that to my knowledge base. Tell me about the challenges of starting a business and any obstacles you might have faced. Particularly, I think, Rain, you were in school while the business started. Sam, you may have graduated already, I'm not sure. But just talk about the challenges you faced.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple main challenges, as you may have mentioned already. Is just that, first of all, doing school and doing startup at the same time is very challenging, especially going to seniors, going to masters. Time commitment is huge, right? And to be able to balancing doing school and doing startup at the same time, it's number one challenge for myself. I think another thing that is team. So I think this is a together challenge to be able to work with a team, working as a team and work with a team. It's also extremely important, crucial to be able to ensure the success of a startup. And I believe that's one of the most I've learned, and also I think that's one of the most lucky things that I've encountered in my life is to be able to have this team with me, be able to have Sam sit next to me right now, and be able to have everybody in Splash who are not able to be here today, but still working behind the scenes with me and with all of us together to be able to push this product onto the market, to finish the development, and whether that's engineering or software, whatever that might be, we're working together as a unit.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Building a team is so important, and it's really hard to find the right people that want to go along with you in that journey, and making sure that also you're the right person that can devote that kind of time. It's just hard. I think for me, something that I didn't really realize until I started this was how much effort you need to put in to build the business outside of the product. I'd been working for a little while. I had worked building, products for other people, and went into this thinking like, yeah, I can build this. I can picture how it's going to work in my mind, but then all of the other work that goes into starting a company and maintaining a company outside of the creation of the core product is a massive amount of work, but it's really fulfilling and it's fun, but not easy.
Yeah, you start with a good idea, but then you have to have the right people, the right team. They have to work together. You have to have marketing, and you have to have all those things that are really not core strengths of engineers, but you got to learn those things or at least add them to your team, right? So, so Splash Tech won the Sustainability Award in the Big Bang Business Competition last year. So congratulations on that. Tell us about how sustainability is important to the company and what you're doing to try to maintain that.
So one of the biggest things that our product will be able to do is that to prevent chemical waste, right? So we tell you exactly of what chemicals to be able to use and your pool to administer it into the pool to back it back, to balance your pool back to the exact chemical level where you want it to be rather than just kind of guessing it. So our product have that precision to be able to using these sensors rather than kind of having the Taylor kit. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those like, so the Taylor kit is what conventionally be used on the market right now, right? So what do they use is they use turkey basters, tubes, and a bunch of color strips. So requires the technician or the pool owner, whoever doing the management of the pool, scoop up a certain amount of water, drop some couple of drips of, color reagents into it, shake the tube, and compare it with the color chart, right? And that to us is wildly inaccurate. It could change during the day, can change throughout the temperature as the water changes. They could change, wherever you pick that water from, right? So that to us is not the best solution towards balancing your pool. It could generate to, your pool kind of destruction in the sense that we put too much of something into it or into like an unpleasant swimming experience, right? So our product would kind of eliminate that out of the equation, as well as if saving your chemicals, saving some of those hazardous chemicals to be restored, to be able to transport into your home or buying it from the store. Whichever way that may be, right, to be able to kind of give you a precision adjustment and administration requirement and recommendations. And I think that's one of the ways we are doing the helping with the energy sustainability. But Sam?
Yeah. One of the major problems that people have when they have a really unbalanced pool is it starts damaging the infrastructure that supports their pool, their filter, their heater, whatever it may be. Those things are very, not only expensive, but also they're just big chunky pieces of electronics. You start throwing those things away, you go through a couple of them, that's pretty impactful. And so, we found if you can maintain a balanced pool, not only do you avoid the catastrophic failure at the start, but also your infrastructure can last a little bit longer.
So this is analogous to precision agriculture, precision medicine. You're doing precision pool treatment, but not only are you saving chemicals, you're also saving some of the infrastructure equipment and preventing those from having to be replaced. That's really impressive. Yeah.
Right. And we do see this potentially would have a wider application than just being used on swimming pools. Potentially it could be used into other water treatment plants or into any other place that require precision water testing or management needs of any sort of businesses or infrastructure outside swimming pools.
Right. Yeah. That's exciting too. So I talked about the Big Bang competition. Talk about how that's been sort of a catalyst for moving Splash Tech forward.
Oh, there's many ways I could speak about that actually. First of all, Big Bang competition, a lot of that is we received a huge check for that, right? And that is crucially important for student startups. I think that one of the biggest things that student startups lack is capital because most of us didn't have a full-time job at the point, right? And then we're students and we're all in this financial states where everybody who've gone through this period of their life understand is you're kind of struggling a little bit, right? So it's difficult to be able to buy all this equipment, build out the product, prototypes and whatever, paying out of the pocket. So that, even although that amount of money maybe for a bigger company is insignificant, but for us it's tremendous. We were able to use that capital to help us tremendously moving forward the product. I think thinking of all is the whole process of going into Big Bang. I think going through Big Bang, it also just helps us to clarify our visions, pitch to the judges and pitch to people there, and then practice on our own to pinpoint exactly what we need to do better. I think that was a really good point, a really good practice for us to be able to knowing that what we're selling, understand our product a little better. I think the last point I want to bring up is also very crucially important is the connections. Now UC Davis obviously have a huge alumni networks, right? And then I think that be able to going to Big Bang is one of the ways to be able to access this network, to be able to meet some very, very helpful and helpful and also pleasant people to chat with, and someone has years experiences and willing to help you out. We met David from DLA law firm that they were able to dedicate so much of their time just on top of their busy day already to work with us, right? And then we also went through Plasma. We went Diane brand. She is one of our advisors. She's one of the most amazing person I've met in my life. She dedicates so much time to help us reiterate our pitches and help us to figure out the market. She even brought open up her network for us to be able to talk to other people, to be able to kind of expand our network and be able to learn more into this journey. I think that was fantastic. But I already read so much. I'll pass down to Sam.
Okay.
Yeah. So I also worked to try to manage our financials. So the money was great. Made me feel a lot more relaxed about the future of our company. And, we got a lot more out of it than just that, though. To echo a little bit about what Rain was saying, it forced us to sit down and talk to each other and really think, what is our core vision of the company? What is our mission here? What are we actually doing? And I think something that was interesting is we all answered pretty much 90% the same, but there was that little 10% of difference of what it meant to each one of us. I think brought us a little bit closer as a team, to realize why each one of us is in this business and doing this with each other. But also it forced us to think about how are we going to publicly communicate this message? Because I think the 10% difference we all had was really important and something that we tried to include in our pitch and in all of our future conversations. And Big Bang forced us to have that, discussion.
I'm glad Big Bang was such an asset to the company. I will say I agree with one thing you said, Rain. Diane Bryant is fantastic. She's a member of our board here at UC Davis and a successful, well-known alumna. And I'm sure that she's proud of you and what you've done so far.
Thank you.
Tell me about your experience as a student here at UC Davis. We think entrepreneurship is an important priority for our students, but how did that kind of shape your path into this business?
Absolutely, and that's wonderful question. Actually, we both met here through UC Davis. We met through the school. Most of the Splash startup members we met through UC Davis. I think that's one of the most important things, to be able to meet people, like-minded people like us, right? To find the people who have share the same passion and ideas as you. In college, I think UC Davis provides this sort of platform for us to be able to thrive, to be able to meet the people just like us, and do this together, right? I think this is a very rare, unique opportunity for us to be able to do this through UC Davis, and also think as a student, one of the most obvious things is the training, right? I think our electrical engineer department has done a wonderful job for preparing us doing this startup. I think I remember just, maybe just 3 years ago, I've never touched a PCB board. Right now, I think we're doing PCB board about once every month, minimum one board design every month. So we're iterating so fast, and then I mean, I can't take credit for this. I think one of my other co-founders does a PCB board mostly, but but he also graduated from UC Davis. He received the training from UC Davis to be able to learn the technical skills to be able to do that, to get to that point, to be able to contribute to this startup or his full-time job, whatever that might be. I think UC Davis have done a great job doing it. But Sam.
Yeah, Davis, for me, when I was coming here, I remember walking onto the campus and just being terrified of trying to talk to other people that I didn't know. I went to a high school and a middle school and elementary school in a very small town. I knew most of those people. Most of the people I went to high school with I had known since I was 6 years old. So coming to Davis, I knew one other person that was here, and it was terrifying. But it really forced me to learn how to be independent and, rely on myself to trust that I can figure things out. And it's great having a co-founding team that can take care of the things I don't understand, but we all are responsible for our own little section of the product. And at the end of the day, it really comes down to us to fulfill that section. So Davis was a great way for me to just, learn how to be my own person and be, trust that I can get things done. But also to Rain's point, the training was great. Something that I really appreciate that Davis let me do was take cross-discipline courses. In the later years when I was in Davis, I think it was my junior or senior year, I started to take some design courses as well. And I did not have the prerequisites for that, and I wasn't going to go get them. That would have taken me years. But the professors in the design department, I just sat down with them and talked to them and was like, hey, this is what I want to do with my career. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to get. And I think these skills are really going to help me. Would you be willing to let me take your class? If I fail it, I fail it. And they took a chance with me. They let me take the courses, and they were really helpful. Even today, years later, the things I learned in that course are directly applicable to the work I do every day.
That's so great to hear. It's really inspiring, actually personally gratifying for me as chancellor to hear that what you learned in class is really paying off for you now. I wonder if it goes the other way too. Rain, you're still in school, so do you take what you're learning in the business and apply that to what you're doing in the classroom as well?
Absolutely. I think that I think most of the soft skills would have directly transferred just to be able to communicate, right? I think that's one of the biggest things. I think as an engineer, we're not training to talk to people every day, right? We're trained to be able to solve problems, solve maybe even very complex problems engineering, mathematically. And then to be able to do the startup, it requires a lot of training. It requires a lot of communication, and that naturally trains your communication skills to be able to understand, basically how to deliver the message, and then what way is the best way to deliver the message. I think that's absolutely one of the things that I was able to take out of these startup to go into take it back into classrooms.
And Sam, the software world is changing so rapidly. I imagine you developed an appreciation for learning and picking up things fast and applying them, and I bet you're still doing that now. Is that true?
Oh yeah, I think in this industry, if you aren't learning the new technologies and the new tools every year, you're not employable anymore, and you're just not keeping up. It's tough. I think people joke in the front end development space, if you sleep, you're out of date. So that was something that Davis really taught me, was how do I learn things super quickly? Quarter system is fast paced. You got to pick things up fast. Yeah,
that's really great to remember. One more thing I want to ask you about Davis, the resources that you had here, whether it be laboratory resources. You mentioned the professors who were helpful. Can you talk about how having the facilities, the resources, the people have been such a positive influence on the business?
Absolutely. That's such a great question. Without, I think at the very beginning of the years, especially the beginning, was the startup that we don't have any investment whatsoever, right? So we heavily relied on the UC Davis resources to be able to help us through. So particularly ESDC was Diana Brent Design Center, right next to Kemper Hall, which is where I work, and it's in Banner. And I think that place helped us a lot. We were using that 3D printers. We were using all the stuff over there to be able to debug our circuit, or print our moving parts. I think that was a fantastic experience there. And then the lab, I think I want to resonate. One of the points that where Sam was also talking about earlier was UC Davis as well, is that UC Davis provides this sort of a training that's not. I think the courses we take here is not just to learn about the material itself. It's more of learning how to learn, right? I think it's more about learning the method to be able to approach a problem. So then sort of give you the keys to open any doors, right? So it's not just the key to open this one door. It's not that you just pass this course and you're set for the rest of the career for this, right? It's more of that it's a master key for a lot of stuff. I think that's what I learned from UC Davis. But the facility, yes, is great. And then I personally work in the lab. I work with a professor, Omi Momini, from the engineering department doing my master's right now. And then we have, we have a very expensive equipment in there. We have oscilloscopes, and they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially even millions, right? And then I think these resources are the keys to be able to train a student, especially a graduate student in their level, to be able to successfully have a successful career. Because, I think one of the biggest things that I'm starting my internship right now with Skyworks Solutions. And then over there, I think a lot of the equipments are very expensive. And then I feel like I don't think all the schools out there would have the same equipment capabilities to be able to have you touch hundreds of thousands of equipments in your lab, right? I think that's one of the biggest benefits that I was able to bring to the team. At my job is I've done all this before. I've seen these, and I think that's tremendous for my personal development as well.
I'm just glad to hear we're providing those resources for you. I want to switch gears a little bit. We have a feature on Face to Face. We call it Hot Seat. You're in the hot seat. Basically, okay. This means I'm going to ask you some rapid-fire questions, looking for a one-word, one-sentence type of answer. Okay?
Fantastic.
Ready? All right. Favorite vacation spot?
Hawaii.
Stole my answer, Hawaii.
Okay, consistency here. Who inspires you?
Diane Brett. Or Steve Jobs, or someone I don't know me.
My dad.
Yeah, both good answers. Yeah. Coolest piece of technology you've seen in the last 5 to 10 years?
iPhone.
Large language models.
Yeah. Well, those are really changing the world, aren't they? Yeah, yeah. Favorite thing to do in Davis?
Biking.
Weird answer. Riding the bus.
Really?
Oh, no way.
Let's hear it for unit train.
The double-decker buses, those are cool.
You ride it for fun? Like, you just take it out and ride it for fun?
Sit on the top level of the double-decker bus and watch the city go by?
It's free, so yeah. Okay, I always ask this question to every guest on the show. What artist is at the top of your playlist right now?
Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
Right now, Hozier. I just got back from Outside Lands, saw him play live last night. It was insane.
Wow, that's great. Okay. Okay. Now it's your turn. Ask me anything.
So you're back in the hot seat?
I'm in the hot seat.
Fantastic. So I have a question. I'm looking for like a little longer answer, right? So you have electrical engineering background, right? And then I want to ask you, how did this electrical engineering background help you in your career as a chancellor? And how does that help you? And also, how did it help you get to the point to become a chancellor?
Well, that's a great question. I do get that question quite a bit. I have to say, honestly, I'm not using a lot of my electrical engineering skills right now in my current role as chancellor, but it gave me a really great foundation for being data-driven and analytical and computative in terms of my approach to decision making. So I think all those skills were instilled in me as my electrical engineering career developed. It did help me get to this point because, after getting my bachelor's degree, I got a graduate degrees in electrical engineering, which led me to my faculty career, which eventually led me to leadership in academia. So it certainly was beneficial for me to have this background to get to this point. But honestly, I'm not doing a lot of circuit design right now, but I am using the sort of the approach to problem solving that I learned as an engineer.
So, I started at Davis a few years back, and I've seen it change a lot while I was an undergrad, and I've seen it been, changing in ways that I never expected over the past few years, just getting so much larger, and I feel like there's probably more students coming. But I wanted to ask you, how do you want this university to change over the next 10 years? How do you want the city to change over the next 10 years?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. And the shorter answer is you always want to leave things better than the way you found them. So I feel I want to leave UC Davis better than it was when I started as chancellor. And I think some of the ways we're doing that, we are expanding. We have a new campus, Aggie Square in Sacramento, and things like that. But I really focus on wanting to be in the real short list of the top schools, top public research universities that people think of when they think of what's a good university, a good public university. And I want UC Davis to be on the tip of the tongue when people start naming those places. And I think we're getting there, so I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
Can I also follow up on that? So I've seen that on the U.S. News ranking, the Davis has been gone up quite a bit ever since you became chancellor. I want to ask you, what's the secret? What's the trick to that?
So the answer is going to surprise you. The secret is not paying too much attention to it. You just want to do the right thing and make the right decisions and the right moves to benefit the students and faculty and staff and the community. And if you do all those things well, the rankings will follow. And I'm really proud of the fact that we've been ranked in the top 10 in I think 6 different national polls, including U.S. News and World Report, which is sort of the one that people know the most. So we just want to continue that momentum and keep getting better and keep serving our community.
Absolutely. I have one question that I forgot which one is it. So do you remember the question?
I don't, but I have another question.
Okay, you can go ahead then.
Part of your job means that you live here in the city of Davis. What's your favorite thing about the city of Davis?
I think Davis, it's a charming college town, which is a new experience for me in my life. But the thing I like the most is that people are so genuine and friendly and collegial. And there's lots of interesting things to do just in Davis, nice restaurants, for example. So it was really a pleasant surprise. I came from a big city. I've always lived in big cities. So I had a little apprehension when I first moved to Davis, thinking it was going to be boring or whatever. But I really, my wife and I both feel like it's really been a nice place to live.
That's cool. Nice.
Fantastic.
All
right.
That it?
That's probably. I have one question I forgot.
Okay, that's okay. Well, thank you both for being guests here on Face to Face. It's really been an enjoyable conversation. I wish Splash Tech the best success. Let us know how you're doing as the years go on, and come back and visit and be a mentor for some of the students who want to be entrepreneurs like you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate for having us.
And thanks to everyone for watching. We'll see you next time on Face to Face. Go Ags.